Knicks versus Cavs is set to be one of the most exciting series in the first round. Everyone knew Donovan Mitchell wanted to come to the Knicks, but he ended up on the Cavs, and he's transformed them from playing team to an Eastern Conference powerhouse. Some Knicks fans were losing their minds when the Knicks missed out on Donovan Mitchell, but it turns out the Knicks still managed to get themselves an all-star level guard in Jalen Brunson. And even though some fans were saying that Jalen Brunson was overpaid, including my coworker, it turns out Jalen Brunson's contract is an absolute bargain, and he's transformed the Knicks from a lottery team to a fifth seed in the East. This is going to be one of the most fun and competitive and drama-filled series in the first round. So let's briefly break down both teams, the key strategies for both teams to win, the X factors, and I'll give my ultimate prediction. The New York Knicks are led by their star duo of Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. Jalen Brunson, after getting overshadowed by Luka in Dallas, has come in and proven that he's one of the top point guards in the NBA. His scoring, playmaking, and leadership has made him a godsend for this Knicks team. And Julius Randle has come back strong after a poor 2021-22 season, and his play this year compared to last has been night and day. And outside of those two, the Knicks have some good role players. Guys like Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickly are very good perimeter defenders, and the Knicks have good rim protectors between guys like Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. And head coach Tom Thibodeau has done a great job of getting these guys to buy in and play hard on the defensive end. The Cavs are led by their star duo of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Donovan Mitchell has been going crazy this year. His 28 points per game average is a career high, and he's doing it on career best efficiency, shooting 48% from the field. Darius Garland has also been great for the Cavs. His scoring and playmaking is huge at the point guard position, and he's also been lining it up from deep all year. Now, the critics thought that a small backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland was going to be problematic defensively, but the Cavs have held up just fine defensively. And that's thanks largely to the fact that they have three great defenders in their front court between Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. And that twin tower lineup of Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley makes it extremely difficult for opposing teams to score in the paint because both of those guys are great rim protectors. This is why the Cavs rank number one in the league in defensive rating, but they've also been great offensively, ranking 7th in the league in offensive rating. Now let's discuss the key strategies for both teams. For the Cavaliers, it's crucial that they contain Julius Randle, and one of their key strategies has to be to send Randle plenty of double teams and traps. Randle has come a long way as a player, but he still has Knicks fans ripping their hair out with his bad turnovers.
What the fuck are you doing?
After getting double teamed, Randle often takes too long to find the open man. He ends up out of control, which results in a turnover. If the Cavs double team and trap Randle a lot this series, they could force him into a lot of mistakes. When the Knicks played the Hawks in the playoffs a couple years ago, the Hawks' defensive strategy was to send Randle plenty of double teams, and it definitely worked. Randle averaged almost 5 turnovers a game in that series, which was higher than his assist average. Now, Randle is a more experienced player since then, but as stated earlier, he still struggles to make the right reads out of double teams. If the Cavs send Randle plenty of double teams, especially with the length of Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, they could force him to have a bad playoff series. Another key for the Cavaliers is going to be keeping New York off the offensive glass. The Knicks as a team rank 3rd in the NBA in offensive rebounds per game, and a huge part of that is their starting center Mitchell Robinson, who's elite on the offensive glass. The Cavs lost to the Knicks 3 times in the regular season, and a huge part of the reason they lost is that the Cavs were regularly out-rebounded and they gave up a ton of offensive boards. If the Cavs get crushed on the glass by the Knicks in the playoffs, then they're going to be in for a long series. Now, it's worth mentioning that in 2 of those losses, they didn't have their starting center, Jarrett Allen. And Jarrett Allen is going to be crucial in this series because he needs to put a body on Mitchell Robinson. But the Cavs as a team need to collectively box out and keep New York off the offensive glass. For the Knicks, one of their key strategies has to be to load up in the paint against Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Now, the Cavs are a great team, but they lack good shooting outside of that starting backcourt. Guys like Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Lamar Stevens, Ricky Rubio, these guys are non-threats from outside. Now, Isaac Okoro has become a respectable shooter this season. He is hitting 36% from three, but it's on low volume. And if I was the Knicks, I would live with Isaac Okoro firing off attempts instead of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland getting downhill and getting good looks at the rim. So if you're the Knicks, you should be loading up, packing the paint, and forcing Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland to either take difficult shots over multiple defenders or kick the ball out to Cleveland's poor shooters. The playoffs are all about exploiting your team's weakness, and if you're the Knicks, you have to exploit Cleveland's lack of shooting outside their starting backcourt. Another key strategy for the Knicks is going to have to be to screen Isaac Okoro off of Jalen Brunson. Isaac Okoro is the Cavaliers' best point of attack defender, and he's more than likely going to be the guy given the job to defend Brunson, and he has the size, athleticism, and defensive discipline to potentially bother him. But if you're the Knicks, you should be looking to screen Isaac Okoro off of Brunson and force guys like Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland to play defense. And both of those guys have made strides defensively, but they can't guard Brunson. And if they end up getting worn out or end up in foul trouble from having to guard Jalen Brunson on mismatches, then Cleveland is going to be in trouble. The Knicks also need to be prepared to make some in-game adjustments for Julius Randle. The Knicks are a ISO-heavy team, and Randle takes up a lot of those ISO possessions. But considering the fact that he's coming off injury and he's going up against one of the top defensive front courts in the league, they gotta find some ways to get him some easier baskets. If Randle is having a rough shooting night, it would make a lot of sense for the Knicks to make some adjustments that get Randle some easier shots. The Knicks barely run any two-man game between Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, but when they have run it, we have seen them get some good shots for Randle. It would make a lot of sense to run some two-man game in this series to get Randle some easy looks as a roll man. Now let's discuss X factors. The main X factor for Cleveland in this series is Evan Mobley. He's made strides this season, and post All-Star break, he's averaging 17 points, 10 boards, and 2 blocks a game. He's one of the very best defenders in the league, which is why he's in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, and offensively, he's grown as both a scorer and a passer. If he can play great defense on Julius Randle this series while also having a big series offensively, then he could be a huge reason why Cleveland wins. The main X factor for the Knicks is Immanuel Quickley. Post All-Star break, Immanuel Quickley is averaging over 20 points per game. And he's going to be huge for the Knicks in this series because he gives them another player that can create for himself and for others at a high level while also remaining a pest on defense. And for the Knicks, if Immanuel Quickley can keep up this high level of play, then he could swing this series in New York's favor. Ultimately, I think this is going to be one of the best series in the first round. But now for my prediction. I'm going to be honest, I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm going to go with my hometown New York Knicks winning in a tough 7 games. But I honestly wouldn't be shocked if Cleveland ends up winning it either. I think this is going to be a very competitive series, and I think it goes 7 games. But now I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think wins this series, in how many games, and why? Tell me in the comments. Guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more dope content just like it, drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching and have an amazing rest of your day.